Hello everyone, my name is Mr. EX and I am back with another Total War Rome 2 replay cast. It has been a while, I've been on a bit of a hiatus, I had some stuff to do, I had to visit my parents, I had some applications to complete, but hopefully I can bring you some replays to make up for it the next few days. So today I'm bringing you a quick battle, and it's going to be me as the Macedonian like usual, against Macedon. Don't worry, I'm not going to bring you too many of these Steppe replays. The next replays I'm going to bring you are some tournament matches, and I assure you there will be no Steppe in sight. But I do want to bring you this battle because it is quite interesting, and you're going to see why. And the sharper ones of you may have noticed in the bottom right hand corner that this, as quick battles are 20 minutes long, right? And this replay is going to be 90 minutes and 31 seconds, so this is going to be a race against time as I try to defeat this Macedonian player. And the question is, will I manage or will I not? Because it is very difficult with the Steppe factions to guarantee a quick victory, especially because you have to do so much kiting and you have to be very calculating with your charges. So let's see what I can do here. So I've brought my standard Steppe build. I have 3 armored lancers on each flank, 3 Steppe armored lancers that is. I have 2 Steppe noble lancers on each flank. I have a Saka cataphract on each flank, and I have a total of 8 horse archers, 3 Amazonians, and 5 Steppe horse archers. And my opponent, as Macedon, has brought a very interesting build. He has some pikemen, so 2 pikemen. He has some militia hoplites in the center here, and then behind that he has more pikemen. So 4 pikemen, 3 Thurio spears, which are an excellent unit against Steppe factions because they're javelins and they're bonus versus large, which is very useful. They're a very versatile unit. We have some Thessalian cavalry here. I believe he has 4, I think one's hiding, which is very useful because they can follow me up after I get in my charges against their units, which would normally be very effective even against hoplites. I mean, hoplites, especially if they're unbraced, they'll take a lot of damage actually from good Steppe cavalry. But the problem is that with these Thessalian cavalry, he can follow up a charge and follow me out, which will do a lot of damage to my Steppe lancers, which is not ideal. So it's a good choice here. I like to bring them too against Steppe players. We have some slingers, which are a fantastic choice. It will be very difficult for me to skirmish effectively. And he has some hoplites interspersed here. So let's get this game started. So, as you're going to see in the beginning of this game, my opponent is going to do something incredibly cheeky. You may have noticed it by now. Yeah, so he's going to push up this hill, and he's going to take what noobs call a strategic position. I call it hill camping. But call it what you will, this is a very annoying move from my opponent. I mean, he did seem like a nice guy when we were chatting, but it's a very annoying move because it's not just any old hill. The problem is that this cliff can literally not be passed. I cannot move my cavalry over this cliff, so I'm going to have to go, when I want to rotate and to hit hoplites, I'm going to have to go all around here, or I'm going to go around here, and I believe actually that this cliff extends here, so you can't even pass through here. So I'm going to be having to charge uphill, or I'm going to have to attack my opponent from here, which is where I have some level ground. But in order to do that, I'll have to get very close to the corner over here, and that means that he can trap me quite easily. So I'm in a very bad position if he takes a good hill position here, so which is why I'm going to rush very quickly towards my opponent with both of my cavalry flanks to see if I can do some disruption, maybe to confuse him. I don't know how good my opponent is at this point, so maybe if I can attack quick enough, he could get distracted and not take an optimal hill position. So I'm going to do some quick skirmishing here with heavy shot, presumably into these pikemen. These guys do not have incredible armor, so they're probably going to take some damage here. I'm going to get a quick charge into these militia hoplites. They're not properly braced. They're going to take a lot of damage. They do have a nice bonus versus large, 15, which is not bad for their price range, but they are going to take a lot of damage. And I'm going to follow this up with another charge over here to finish them off. So this is a very good move on my part. My opponent never should have had his militia hoplites so far away from his units, unsupported and exposed. I do notice the Thurio spears here coming in the background. They're going to throw their javelins. They are going to get a jab toss, but I'm going to get away with that. And honestly, that's probably a good engagement for me. I lose 3 armored lancers and I'm going to actually destroy this militia hoplite. This is worth 300 and these are very dangerous. If properly supported, of course. So these guys aren't going to rout, but I mean, they're very close to routing. So a good engagement in the beginning for me. I'm going to move this flank soon to this side to see if I can do some encircling. But as you can see, my opponent has taken an extremely difficult position to tackle here. So it'll be very interesting to see how I tackle this. There will be some pauses in this game. It's not going to be non-stop action, so I may have to fast forward because I do have to do some thinking as to how I'm going to tackle my opponent. And also, you know, I was on Discord with some friends of mine, so I was not super concentrated during this battle. But so I'll do some fast forwarding, see what I can accomplish here. So, as I said, so I'm moving my step armored lances forward here, threatening his slingers. Let's see what I have planned here. No, I'm just going to pull them back. I don't like this idea. So I think I'm going to go for this militia hoplite to finish it off. Whether this is a good move or not, we will see. I hit those pikemen in the background as well, which is quite interesting. But I'm going to run away with my step armored lances. I'm going to take some more losses here from javelinmen and slingers. But these guys do manage to get away with murdering that militia hoplite. So a decent engagement from me. These guys are not too expensive. So, so far the battle is in my favor. I mean, it is a cheap unit, but still the battle is in my favor. So we'll do some more fast forwarding here, as I try to figure out how to tackle this hill position. My guys, as you can see, are slowly moving to this flank, so we'll see how I take advantage of that. The pikes are here, and he has slinger support, which means that I'm cautious to bring up my step horse archers, because I do not want to waste ammo for my horse archers into the front of pikes if I'm not using heavy shot, and heavy shot means that I have less range, which means these slingers are going to get a lot of damage done. This is not a perfect game for me, so I'm going to make some mistakes in this battle from what I remembered, but we always learn from our mistakes, so let's see how I do here. These guys are doing nothing in the background. He's moving some slingers here to get some shots on my horse archers, which is a good idea. I think I'm going to be cheeky here. I'm not just going to take shots. I think I'm going to go into melee and see if I can hit these slingers here, which is pretty cheeky. I'm going to get some shots in their rear. I'm not doing it yet, but I think I'm going to do it at some point in this battle. So I'm scaring them away. Yeah, these guys were going into melee, which is why they're still chasing. Oh, no, yeah, these are step armored lancers, sorry. So I get a very poor charge here. I didn't expect him to actually get a charge with the Thessalian cavalry. He's going to move in his hoplites. This is a very poor decision on my part. So these guys are going to get chopped up. So, wow, 0 kills. This surprised me during the battle because I did get a charge last second of these step armored lancers. Then they haven't managed to get a single kill. I mean, it wasn't a great charge, but not a single kill. And these Thessalian cavalry, they're great, don't get me wrong, but they're only heavy shot cavalry. They shouldn't have. I don't quite understand what happened there. Maybe there was a glitch or something, because you know I've used those lancer units many times, and even when they don't get a very good charge, they'll at least get a few kills. So that was a bit unlucky for me. I lost a 550 talent unit, which is not brilliant. I'm going to pull up my horse archers here, get a few shots in his hoplites as they're reforming, but I realize that these guys have a lot of ammo, so I'm going to pull them out of this engagement. And again, I'm trying to figure out how exactly to tackle this, because there's a hill this way, there's a hill that way. I can definitely not push up this hill because it's it'll exhaust my troops and I'm not going to get good charges. And I can't go up here because of this hill business. So, again, we'll see how I deal with this. So I'm going to move my step noble lancers here, and he's going to mirror me. He's going to push up his Thessalian cavalry to deal with me. And I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do here. Am I going to charge his lancers? Yeah, I'm going to charge his Thessalian cavalry. They do not get a good charge, so I'm going to get a lot of kills on the charge there. 16 kills, that's pretty good engagement. I should be careful here with these Thessalian cavalry because the hoplites are going to move in, which is not ideal. We have another engagement going down here. I get my Saka lancers in there, and we get my step armored lancers a charge now last second. Not a brilliant charge, but they are going to get a kill. See, even a last second charge, and I did get a kill there, so I'm not sure why my previous lancers didn't get a single kill. That was a bit bizarre. So his hoplites, I did get rid of his Thessalian cavalry, so this is a good engagement for me. Thessalian cavalry are 760, I believe, or 740, something like that. So this is a good engagement for me. He is pouring in slinger fire here into my step noble lancers, which is not good, but I'm going to take out all of his cavalry off the field, and they've barely gotten any kills. I'm shooting heavy shot into this blob, which is probably not a good idea, but again, my micro was not super on point during this game. These guys are still alive because my step armored lancers did not get a good charge, and I'm shooting my Amazonian riders into the backs of my own cavalry, which is a brilliant idea. Well done, Mr. EX. So I'm going to pull out this engagement because these hoplites are threatening my cavalry. Oh, I'm going to get a quick charge here into his hoplites because they were in a very thin line and they're going to take a lot of damage. Like I said, hoplites, even from the front, they will take a lot of damage from good step cavalry. And am I going to get a charge into his general? Yes, I am. They are unbraced, so I'm going to get a decent amount of kills here. And I'm going to get a charge into these unbraced hoplites, so they're going to take a lot of damage as well. But I'm going to quickly pull out before He managed to get too many kills here. These guys I reckon were already dead, so I didn't pull them out. I mean, or I'm going to pull them out now, but I mean, these guys are pretty much screwed. And we get a charge to these pikemen here. They do not have their pikes down. Bowl right through, because I saw these Thurio spears, so I'm going to charge right through and get into them. But they are going to throw their javelins, so I'm not going to go brilliantly here. But the Steppe Armored Lancer has done decently, so I can't fault it too much for its price. But so far, you may have noticed, this hasn't been a brilliant battle for me so far. I've made some pretty big mistakes, which I was quite appalled with at the time. But we'll see how it goes. So his general here is exposing his back. I would keep his general a little bit further back. I don't know how I agree with this being in the front line. And I do not agree with my move here. Jesus Christ, get my sack of cataphracts here. Right by these Thurio spears. I must have not seen that they were Thurio spears or something. This is a huge waste of a unit for me. So this is a very, very poor decision for me. This is a very expensive cavalry unit. Yeah, it's a pretty stupid mistake. I can't really cover that up. And I'm going to get wrecked by Thessalian cavalry here. So this game is not going my way for the time being. And I was getting quite frustrated at this point. I'm going to get some really good shots on these hoplites. Probably going to finish them off with some heavy shot here. But yeah, this has definitely not been going in my favor. We'll see how I can turn this around. Getting some plinger shots in my flanks here. But again, losses like these, I mean, obviously the Saka Cataphract charge was a complete blunder. I shouldn't have done that. But what you have to remember is that during a 1v1, when you're against an infantry faction with Thurio spears and slingers, losses like the horse archers that I lost here are inevitable. You are going to take losses. You can't have a perfect game, because unfortunately, if you are a decent player, you know how to counter steppe factions. It is inevitable that you are going to take a lot of losses if you're the steppe player. I mean, there's no way to get if you're against slingers, to get your steppe horse archers in position, get shots off, good shots, of course, not a few shots per volley. When we're talking about good shots without taking return fire and losing a few horse archers. That's just the nature of the meta right now in Rome 2. Steppe factions are underpowered, no matter what people tell you. But yeah, I have not been playing the best game either. So these pikes here are going to be a pain in my ass. I can't charge in to get to these slingers, and they're going to do some damage to my armored lancers and my horse archers there. And again, he's taken this very annoying hill position. Although he's moved somewhat his units. He was here, but he's moved them further down this hill, which is still annoying. But I'm going to try my best anyway. I'm going to waste some ammo here, as you do. So well done me. These horse archers are doing okay. I mean, I shouldn't complain too much. They're quite cheap, but we'll see how I use them. So now that I've seen that he's moved down from this hill, and I have this whole space to move up. I am going to use this opportunity to move up some of my men, so I can get some good flanking shots, basically. Flanking shots and flanking charges. Because when you're a steppe player, you have to surround the infantry opponent if you want to have a chance of winning. That's the only way you can effectively root infantry off the field. I mean, this is steppe playing 101, but for those that don't know, because your opponent has a numbers advantage when they're infantry focused, you have to get rear charges so you can get rid of as many units as possible from the field without having to kill all of them. Whereas in many infantry engagements in Rome 2, if you're an infantry faction, you can afford to grind down a fight between two units until one is left with 30, right? But with a steppe faction, what you want is you want to do hit and run tactics. You want to get a lot of kills very quickly. You want to win decisively these engagements and get rear charges so that a 120 man unit is reduced to about 70 or 60 men and they rout off the field. Because if you don't route units quick enough, you're just going to take too many losses, no matter how good your charges are. So you have to be very, very careful of your engagements as the steppe player. So at this point, I'm getting somewhat annoyed because this battle has not been going too much in my favor. And I'm going to do some ballsy charges. I know that these slingers, I'm going to destroy this Thessalian cavalry. I know that these slingers are going to cause me a huge amount of pain if I don't get rid of them quickly. So I'm going to do a very ballsy charge here into these Thurio spears. We get another charge into these Thurio spears. These Thurio spears, by the way, are not that good, even when they're braced. I mean, they will take a lot of damage from charges. And this is a bit of a sacrificial charge. I just want to get rid of as many slingers as possible. I am going to get these armored lancers with only 10 losses out of this. That's pretty good. These steppe noble lancers are in trouble though, and they're going to get javelin to hell. I'm going to pull them out quickly, but again, this is just an effort to get rid of some of the slingers. because everyone knows that if you get away in the late game as a steppe player, with the opponent not having any skirmish left and you have horse archers, your opponent is screwed basically. There's nothing they can do. They'll box up and they're going to die. And it gives you the opportunity to take really easy shots like I am here in the backs of these pikemen who are dying very quickly. These pikes are a high priority target, by the way, so they need to die and fast. And they are dying very fast. They are spread very thinly as they should, and they do get a decent javelin toss here. They're going to kill a few men, but nothing special. I get a very cheeky charge with these hoplites here when I know that these javelin men and slingers are pointed the other way, so this is a good move from me. Macedonian player, his numbers are dwindling. He doesn't have that much left. I'm going to get another charge because I see his slingers and his skirmishers are out of position. They do get kind of braced, but again, bracing in this game, it doesn't quite work as you'd expect. I mean, because your units get clustered up. Oh wait, I'm going to talk about this in a second. I just want to commentate on the action here. So I'm going to get another charge on these three spears. They're going to take a lot of damage, as I say. You see how much damage they take. They are a medium spear infantry unit, and I'm going to plow right through, and I'm going to get to these skirmishers here, get another charge on these three spears and put them out of commission. And these steppe noble lancers are trying to take care of these skirmishers. I'm probably going to try hit this unit now as well. Yeah, I am, to see if I can get a morale penalty to kill it. We'll see how that goes. In the meanwhile, I am shooting in the backs of these three spears and these pikemen with my horse archers, which is a good move. Getting my steppe lancers into position again. These pikemen are chasing me, which is quite interesting. I'm not sure how wise that is, but I'm sure our opponent knows what he's doing. Oh no, he's not chasing me, he's just forming another defensive position. And I am shooting from an uphill position here, which is very good for the missile damage of my horse archers, which are going to take down these pikemen very quickly. This is a micro mistake here. I have my steppe armored lancers taking serious damage from through spears, so another micro mistake for me. This is not my best game. Oh, but I do get some slingers here in this box. I don't know how I did that. I missed it, but I'm gonna see. This is key. If you're a steppe player, you have to get rid of the skirmish when your opponent forms a box, especially when you're not in a tournament condition, which boxing up is forbidden. You have to get to their skirmishers, or else you will not win in the late game. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to be very cheeky and get a rear charge on his pikes, bang, and then I'm going to get out, basically, and save this unit for the late game. So, good move on my part. These pikes are routing. And he's reforming his box. He only has some slingers left, 40 slingers, which is nothing much, and he has some javelin men here. Are they going to toss their... Do they still have javelins? Yes, they do still have javelins, so I better be very careful with my mercenary Amazonian riders. And I'm being chased by Thurio spears over here, which is quite interesting. And I'm going to get that. I decided to just go out and YOLO charge the Thurio spears, and I'm going to turn around. My guys go disappear from the battlefield very temporarily there. And I see all these guys blobbed up, so I decide to move in my horse archers, get some really nice shots on his general and on his pikes and hoplites. This is a good engagement for me. Remember, he doesn't have much skirmish remaining here, so this is going to be very good for me. And we get some charges at will. Remember, this battle is 20 minutes long, and I literally only have about 2 minutes remaining in this battle. I'm going to get my free shots on his pikemen, and we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to get another charge here on these Thurio spears. Oh, I'm not going to do it. Yes, I am going to do it. While I'm shooting skirmish fire, I should have halted that skirmish fire ideally, but I'm going to destroy these Thurio spears. I'm going to quickly rotate and go into the backs of these hoplites and these other hoplites here and their pikes. So that's going to be a good move on my part. I'm going to go with my general into these hoplites here and get a lot of damage. These hoplites are really not going to enjoy that at all, and they might rout actually. His general is coming in though, so I better get out of there very quickly. His general will do a lot of damage to my sack of cataphracts, but these hoplites are quickly routing here, so we'll see what I can do. My horse archers still have ammo, I believe. Oh, and we get a quick charge here. Is he going to block my charge? No, he's going to take a charge, and these Thurio spears should die at this point. I'm going to get more rear shots here. I'm going to pull my general out if I can here. Oh, my general's taking a lot of damage. I really misused my sack of cataphracts this game. There's no beating around the bush. I played very poorly with my sack of cataphracts, but with the rest of my units I played okay. Nothing special. These Thurio spears are frantically moving in to get some jab shots to form another box here, but I'm going to get another charge with my steppe noble lancers, and these guys don't fuck around when they're attacking medium spear infantry. They're going to do a lot of damage. Then I'm going to go right through. I'm going to get into his pikes here, and this is probably not a good idea. They're going to get my pikes. The pikes going to get my Steppe Noble Lancers. Going to kill them very quickly. But I just wanted to get some more shots into his general. I have to kill his general now. There's only 4 seconds remaining in this battle. I'm using Flaming Shot, and the battle is over. So I take this one. I thought it was quite an interesting battle because of the time limit aspect. I only had 20 minutes to win that, and I won it in 19 minutes and 30 seconds. So I thought you might be interested to see that battle. So let's see the stats. My Second Cataphracts, as I said during the battle, did very poorly. So this is not a great battle for me, honestly. I've played far better battles, but oh well, it happens. My Amazonian is doing very well. He didn't have an answer for them because I managed to charge into his box and kill his slingers. So these Steppe Horse Archers did very well, all things considered. Steppe Armor Lancers, 223 kills, very respectable here. These Lancers all doing okay. 162 kills, quite nice. So an okay performance from me, honestly. But I only won this really because my opponent made some very crucial mistakes that battle. He wasted the Thessalian cavalry on some pointless charges. He should have just kept doing what he was doing and boxing up and shooting me with slingers, waiting for the charges. And then charging in his Thessalian cavalry and inflicting casualties. His shield bearers doing absolutely nothing. They got wrecked by continuous charges and archer fire. These slingers not doing much. These pikes doing absolutely nothing. These through spears were very effective this battle. They all got chevrons because they killed some high priority cavalry units, short cavalry. So anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time with some tournament action. So see ya.